Hey guys, Murdoch here again with another play and chill video here. Today we are playing PowerWash Simulator. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the bathroom, or the washroom as it's called. And sorry if I'm speaking a little bit quiet. It's pretty early in the morning. I really had nothing better to do, so I figured, hey, I could make a video and play PowerWash Simulator. So here I am. Have any of you guys played this game? I don't know why, but it's just so addicting. It's I guess it's like the instant satisfaction you get by seeing the filth come off of the walls and whatnot. It's like, yeah. Have any of you power wash in real life before? I use it probably a few times a year. I do a bunch of odd jobs for people in the summertime. So, once or twice a year, I will get to use a pressure washer, maybe more if I'm lucky. And yeah, it's good fun. It's one of my favorite things to do. Who made this bathroom so filthy? That's what I want to know. I know technically it's been abandoned and whatnot, but lore aside, who did this? This is just nasty. It's like the bathroom after I'm done eating Taco Bell. Actually, is that joke overused yet? The Taco Bell bathroom joke? Probably. The worst parts are getting these tight curves. Let me tell you. I'm using the green nozzle. It's one of my favorite ones to use, actually. It's like the mid-level, mid-tier nozzle. You know, you got the yellow, green, and red. Green's right in between there. It's really nice to use. It's got a nice wide spray. It's not too weak. And I don't really have a pattern that I'm gonna use here. I'm just gonna clean what I see. This filthy bathroom. Actually, you would be surprised how filthy bathrooms can get when they're not touched for a while. One of my first jobs was working at a provincial park. And we had to clean the bathrooms every day, obviously. And they got pretty filthy. Like, here's pretty much the rundown of the day. You get to work, you grab a work truck, you grab your cleaning supplies, and you go out and clean the comfort stations, which are the buildings where the bathrooms and showers are located, all like combined. So you had to go and clean those, and you were expected to take about 2 hours with that, believe it or not. And if you were good, you could get it done in 1 hour, but then you kind of had to waste time because the boss didn't like seeing you finished by that point. So what you would do if you know it's gonna take only 1 hour to do it, you just take your time, You're like, oh, you know, this needs a touch up. Oh, there's a little bit of dust up here I'll get. Oh, that hose looks like it could be raveled up a little better. You know? Oh, better go in the back room. The back room was where all, in the comfort station, it was where all the plumbing was. And, us maintenance guys, us park rangers, I'd like to call us maintenance, but we were like junior rangers. We had almost no business being back there except to turn off the water when we had to clean. So, you know, and it was a very, very tight room, and nobody would know you were in there. So a lot of the time we just go back there. And there were 3 comfort stations in this park, so that means there were three of those back rooms. And it was really nice. Yeah, so you had to go clean the showers first. I don't know why I'm telling you guys the procedure for cleaning a comfort station, but this is chill and talk, so you kind of signed up for it. Play and chill, chill and talk. I don't know what to call this yet. It appears to be something different every time. Whatever. So yeah, you gotta go clean the showers, and then once you did that, you went to the bathroom area and cleaned those, which was always a blast. And there was this one in one campground. The comfort station was like in the middle of like the forest, pretty much. A bunch of little paths leading to it. It was a nice little area, but to clean it, since it was in the middle of like the bush, a bunch of bugs and shit would get in, and like spiders, big spiders. There was this one time I was cleaning shower, and there was a spider, or I was just finished cleaning it. I had just finished cleaning this shower stall, and as I was walking out the door, there was a huge hand-sized fucking beast of a spider just chilling on the ground next, like right, kind of like blocking my path. Like, you shall not pass, human. So what did I do? I just stepped over it, because by that point you kind of get used to the spiders. They still creep you out, but you know, a lot of spiders around here, they're not harmful, they're not venomous. You don't really have to worry about them. They don't want anything to do with you, right? If you don't bug them, they won't bug you. I've kind of taken that approach to spiders and other little bugs and whatnot. And bees. Believe it or not. If there's a bee around me, I just gotta let it do its thing. If it wants to land on me, it'll land on me. But if it looks like it's getting a little too antsy, I'll brush it off, blow it off, or whatever. And that's the end of that. Bees won't sting you unless you disturb their hive, usually. Or if they feel threatened. They're really not the biggest threat. You just have to watch out for them. Don't get in their way, you know? Don't bug them. No pun intended, but don't bug them. I can tell you some pretty good stories of working at that place. Might as well, I got nothing else to talk about right now. Yeah, so the park. lots of good times there. I think there was one time my brother and I, we worked there together. Or there was actually 2 times that this happened. But the first time, my brother worked there and I didn't. This was when my brother worked there for 1 year and I didn't. Let me correct myself. And what happened was, he was told to come in on the weekend, and I needed volunteer hours for high school, so my brother asked if it was okay. He asked the boss if it was okay if I come in with him on the weekend and do some volunteer work, and he said, yeah, there's no problem. So the day, or the weekend comes, and we get there, and nobody's there. Like, the park's closed, first of all, because it's off season. So there's no customers or no campers, nothing like that. There's no one walking around. But like, even worse, there's no employees there. The boss isn't there. It was like stepping into the Twilight Zone or something. Everybody's just like gone. It was the weirdest thing, and we did try to get a hold of our boss, and that was a no-go. It didn't work. So we just assumed like our boss just kind of like let us, like, he kind of just trusted us, I guess. Even though why would they? We were just teenagers. But at the time, I wasn't thinking that. I was just like, okay, well, something's up here. So there's got to be an explanation. And well, it turns out, yes, the park was closed. And that weekend specifically, there was going to be no employees in, not even anybody, you know, doing maintenance or prepping, setup, or anything like that. Now, for some reason, my brother didn't get the memo, and so I went in with him, and we actually did work a full day with nobody around. Oh, man. Luckily, nobody actually knew about that. Nobody found out about that little, that shenanigan. So we luckily got off the hook there. Couple of other stories. Yes, okay, so we had, this was the year I was working there. Oh, actually, you know what, I might as well explain the second time that happened. So, my brother and I were camping for a weekend. And basically the same thing happened. Told us to come in on the weekend, blah 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 blah. But we were already camping there, so it was like, yeah, we'll be there, obviously. And this was, I think, off-season, but on the other end of the year. You know what I mean? So it was, I believe, autumn? Not spring? Anyway. So my brother and I were camping. We went to work. Nobody was there. We had permission to camp, obviously. Oh, sorry about that. We had permission to camp, obviously. So that was really no problem. The issue, again, was that nobody was there. Nobody to, like, no boss, no employees. So again, we kind of just figured, like, oh, well, maybe this time they trust us, and we're just gonna go do our own thing. So what we did was, we went and grabbed one work truck, grabbed the keys, got in, took off, and we were just like doing little things like cleaning and whatnot, as far as I remember. And in one of the campgrounds, we got the truck stuck in a bunch of mud. It was really deep. Yeah. So we had to walk all the way back to the maintenance shop, which was like, oh man, I want to say like a half-hour walk. Something like that. Like something absolutely stupid. And when we got to the shop, we had to take another truck and a chain to take the stuck truck out of the mud. And so that means we're both technically joyriding, since you know, we were there, but we kind of didn't have to be, weren't supposed to be. We had permission to, but okay, I should kind of explain more. We had two bosses. There was this guy in his 30s and then this guy in his like 60s. And what happened, I guess, was they didn't really communicate very much or very well at all. So they wouldn't explain things to each other. Excuse me. So one would give us permission to do something, and he wouldn't tell the other boss that that's happening. So one boss would know that we were there, and the other one didn't. But the old guy was forgetful as fuck. So, you know, we were there, but he'd forget that we were there. And, you know, we come in on a regular day. The next regular day that we did come in, he didn't mention it at all, and we didn't mention it at all. Even though our time clocks were different and whatnot, they never said anything. They don't look at that too much. So yeah, we had fun trying to get that truck unstuck from the mud. That was a fun day. That was really fun. I'd love to do something like that again. Just go out and just have a blast. We didn't get into any trouble. We just got a truck stuck, and we fixed the problem. So it's not like we did anything too bad. And as far as we know, we were allowed to be there. It was yeah, it was a good day. Let's see. Yeah, I got an. Oh, sorry. I keep doing that. 21 minutes. Okay. So, another story would be, yeah, here's a good one. So we had this one year, or actually a couple years, we had this volunteer crew coming from Quebec. And they were called Katimavik. It's some French name or something, right? Canada. So they did a lot of the things that we did, but for only like $2 a day or something, because they were just technically volunteers, but they were a volunteer group. It was some weird thing going on, but they did get paid just a little bit, like $2 a day, something like that. Basically a huge scam, right? Excuse me. Nonetheless, they came in every day, and yeah, like I said, they basically had the same tasks and responsibilities we did, but to a lesser extent. Like, they weren't allowed to use a lot of the gas-powered equipment, but they could use hand-powered equipment instead to get the same effect. Like, they could push a lawnmower and whatnot, that was fine. But they couldn't run a big trimmer with a big blade on it like we were running. So, surprisingly though, they were allowed to drive a Gator. And if you guys don't know what a Gator is, it's basically an ATV, like a 4x4, but it's wide and it can carry passengers. It's like a glorified golf cart. I shouldn't say that. It's better than a golf cart. It's more robust, and it's for like farming and shit. Some people use it for recreation. They're really good. Anyway, so they were allowed to use this gator. And the park had a lot of trails that needed to be brushed all the time. So what I did one day was I was out on the gator, and I was just like speeding through these little trails, right? And these trails, they're walking trails. They're not regularly for, you know, motor vehicles. So we went to these walking trails. Well, I did, down this gator, or with this gator. And I was like booking it, you know. I was like pedal to the floor, fast as the thing could go. I was whipping and winding around corners. I was having a really good time. Something we do like all the time, right? Because we were highly unsupervised throughout the entire job, which was really awesome. But besides the point, that's besides the point. I came to a corner this time where I was zipping and flying really fast, and I understeered, and I just pretty much went straight off the curve instead of through it. So I hit a tree, and the next thing I knew, I was about 10 feet away from the gator, and the gator was stuck, wedged in between two trees. I was fine. I had a helmet on and everything, so I didn't really feel anything. I didn't hurt myself. It just threw me off. You know, it was so fast, so quick. It just happened in the blink of an eye, and yeah, I was on the ground. I kind of got up and checked myself over, make sure, you know, I got all my digits, all my bones, didn't break anything. I was fine. And then, so I had to get the gators unstuck. Took a lot of force to get that thing out, because I wedged it pretty good. But I got it out, just with my hands. But I noticed I put a huge gouge in the canopy, which is just plastic. Some cheap Chinese fucking plastic, right? And it was like a good few inch gouge, maybe. Very noticeable. And obviously my boss did notice, and they asked the regular crew, about like what what the hell happened. And naturally I said, well, I don't know. I have no idea what happened, because he had no idea I was using it. Like I said, we're unsupervised, so he didn't know that I was even using the gator. So what I did was I said, I don't know, maybe Katimavek was. I think I saw Katimavek use it, actually. You know, I think I saw them use it. It could have been, you know, what's his face? I forget their names, but I said it could have been so and so. And he was like, oh yeah, okay, that would make sense. And I guess like the next day they got a bit of a talking to. And surprisingly, one of the guys from Katimavik, the volunteer group, did fess up to crashing it, but he said he didn't think that he made that much damage. So he actually did, get this, he actually did crash it. So it wasn't just me. I'm the only one who put damage in that thing, though. It still ran just fine, like it was just cosmetic damage. But I got away with that. You know, when you try to do things to keep your job and keep that good relationship with your boss, yeah. I had to kind of pull a fast one on him, but it worked. He never suspected a thing, and when I told my coworkers about it, they fucking laughed. Naturally, because they were pretty cool guys. They would have done the same thing. because we were young and stupid, right? That was our mindset. Just blame it on someone else, which isn't the attitude to have, not at all. But if you want to keep your job, you got to do what you got to do. And being young and stupid, we don't think otherwise. We didn't think anything else. So that's just, you know, that's how we were. So I was able to keep my job. The Katimovec guys, they were fine. They kept their jobs. All they got was a stern talking to. Obviously, the boss man wasn't happy. Neither of them were. But in the end, no one got hurt. No harm, no foul, right? It could have been a lot worse. There was this other time where I had a trimmer. So I was using a trimmer down one of the trails, and I actually took a pickup truck down there. One of the work pickup trucks that we were allowed to use. And what I had to do, I was just clearing brush as usual. There's so much fucking shit to do like that, clearing brush and cutting wood and whatnot. So I was doing that. I was unsupervised. It was just me on shift because we had different shifts. Like, it was morning shift and afternoon shift. There was like 4 or 5 people in on the morning shift and only 1 person in on the afternoon shift, and that was every day, and we'd switch it up every day. So that day it was just me on the morning shift. Hey, Nomi Gnome. Looks like Keemstar. Anyway. So, lucky me, I had the morning shift. Or, sorry, afternoon shift. And again, unsupervised. And I just had to go out and clear this little trail of some brush that was sticking out into it. Something like that. I can't remember entirely. It was like 20 years ago. 15. So that was fine and dandy. I did my work, and I get in the pickup truck to take off, and I hear a crunch, and I feel something like a bump, like I just hit something, like run something over with my tires. I'm like, uh-oh. The only thing I could think about at the time was the trimmer. Like, I forgot to put the trimmer back in the truck, and I did forget to put the goddamn trimmer back in the truck, and I bent the shit out of the shaft. I actually had to leave. So we had a white wall or a whiteboard in the main area where we meet every day. So I actually had to write a note explaining what I did for the morning crew to see, even though I was in next morning. You know, in case I wasn't there before the boss, I had to write a little note on the whiteboard explaining what I did. And trust me, that was a very shameful thing to do. It was very embarrassing, making a stupid mistake like that. So we spent the next day or 2 trying to fix the thing, and he did. He actually did. He managed to fix the thing. I can't remember what he did, but he somehow bent the shaft back straight and then fixed some engine shit that I messed up too. But it worked again, and it lived to give us another season or 2, I think. Yeah, he's a trooper. Man, I have so many stories of that place. We did do pressure washing there every day. We had to pressure wash the privies, which are the bathrooms around the park. It was funny though, because after you pressure wash the bathroom, you have to pressure wash the whole thing. Sometimes the boss would watch you do it, right? And then if you didn't pressure wash the whole thing, he'd take the pressure washer from you and be like this, and then he'd spray the whole thing down. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, outside and in the inside, right? I'm like, are you sure about that? Like, it looks a little wet. It didn't seem to make it. He didn't seem to care. So, to make him happy, what I did to each privy was give it, like, I don't know, a good minute of soaking with the pressure washer. And by the time I left the cubicle, or the privy rather, not only was I dripping wet, but the whole place was too. And oh, he's never said anything about that. Believe it or not, we never got any complaints about them being too wet. Even though I'm dead sure that it would have been way too wet for the campers to use, even though we were cleaning them pretty early in the morning. But by then, by the time we had even started cleaning them, people were using them. So sometimes you'd clean a privy, pressure wash the entire thing, and then somebody would be waiting for you to be done, and you'd just be like, you're welcome, you know, feel all awkward and shit, because you know that it's soaking wet, but like that's what your boss wants. So even if they complain about it, all you can really do is say that's what the boss wants. And it doesn't really make for good customer employee interaction, does it? It was a good place to work. Our boss was the best. His name was Ian, and he was like he was the first boss I had, but he's still the best boss I had. It all, like, having a good boss can make your job way better. It just can. No doubt about it. He'd give us custom radio codes, because we each had a radio in our truck to communicate. A two-way radio to communicate back and forth to each other, right? And so he'd give us custom radio codes for, like, hot girls. Because he was young, right? He was young enough that he could actually get along with us teenagers. It wasn't creepy or weird or anything, because he was like one of us, right? So he'd give us codes to use over the radio for different things. He'd make up codes and add different codes, take away codes and whatnot. And one code I think he used was like, oh man, I don't know, it was like 1074 or something. It wasn't 1078, that's emergency, I think. And what that basically meant to everyone who wasn't maintenance was there's some garbage that needs to be picked up on the road. And what that meant to us maintenance crew was that there's this hot chick in this area, you need to go check her out. So, you know, the boss was pretty good. I liked him. He was cool. And that was obviously the young boss, not the old boss. The old boss he was weird. Let me tell you something about the old boss. My brother and I had to go trim this curve in the road, right? There was a bunch of branches sticking out into it, so we had to trim it. We start doing it, like, we already know what we're doing. And then this guy comes down to check on us, I guess, as we're doing it. And he stops us, and he's just, like, checking our work out. And he says, oh yeah, good, and he just starts making small chat and whatnot. And then before he leaves, he goes back to talking about the job, the work that we're doing, and he says, cut it like a baby's butt. Now, can any of you guys tell me what that means? I know what he meant, but like literally, what's that supposed to mean? He obviously meant, you know, cut it as smooth like a baby's butt. You want it to make it look like a good cut, you know. And I don't want YouTube to catch me talking about babies' butts without context. So this is awkward. But this is what the guy said. I'm just saying what he said. He said, cut it like a baby's butt. This dude was like old and senile. And somehow he was our boss. So, I guess that's another story for you. Oh, it was a good time. It'd be really nice to get this all in one go. Like without missing anything. These are some funky looking urinals too. I've really only ever seen the urinals that are just attached to the wall, and they're very small units. I hate these little spots that you have to look out for and remember to get. It's so annoying. Making good progress here though, I think. Yeah, I've just been pressure washing. Just as I see, I'm gonna pressure wash at whatever I see I'm gonna get. I don't really have any specific order that I'm doing it in. There we go. This floor is dirty. There we go. Sweet. Making good progress. Just something about taking a pressure washer and watching the dirt go off. It's therapeutic, I must say. And it's quite relaxing. You want something to do? Throw on a video and start pressure washing. Just have a really chill time. Look at this beam. Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna make another Fernway map, by the way. It's gonna be the village. I've been talking about it for a long time, and I think it's about time to finally get a start on it. And just to design it, to make a map, you gotta like design it and whatnot. You have to get the landscape right. You know, that takes a long time in itself right there. But it's worth it. It's usually worth it in the end. The more maps, the better, generally speaking. I don't play a lot of maps. I don't have a lot of mods on Teardown. I really only have my own mods and just a few others, like from my friends and whatnot. I don't know why. It's just like once I learned how to make my own mods, I just started making them for me, for my enjoyment, and I kind of just upload them for other people. My main priority is actually myself. I'm making mods for myself, but I just upload them for other people. And they seem to like them. So, I guess I could just keep doing that. It's not hard to make maps at all. It's just time consuming. That's it. Like anyone can make a map. They give you a blank map anyway. Like a little starter map. You don't even really have to try. Just put in a couple of Vox boxes and you got yourself a map. You don't even have to script. You don't have to know anything about scripting to make a map, because you don't need scripts to make a map. It's more interesting with scripts, but you don't need them. Or you can get scripted objects from the workshop. So there's always that. So like you never really need to learn how to script. I just find scripting enjoying. There's something about writing your own code and watching it do something. It's like a satisfaction in that. It's like an instant satisfaction thing, much like this. I like jobs. I like work where I can see my results instantly. I don't have to wait for them. That instant gratification, instant results, instant satisfaction. Whatever you want to call it. That's my gig. Oh, nice. Now I obviously missed a few things, or it would be showing me a list right now of things that are left. So I guess I'll find out what I missed. Yeesh, that's a tough one. Cistern. And cistern pipe. Gotcha. Oh, I saw something. Cubicle door frame. Cool. Those tiny little dirt spots on the edges and whatnot. So annoying. Like, bro, it's clean. Okay, jeez. Look a wall. Here we go. Cistern pipe. Here we go. This bathroom's a little bit bugged if anybody's played this game. The wall looks clean, but it's telling me it's not. So I just kind of have to like go over it a bunch of times with the wand. Until I get the W. George W. There it is. Cool. Oh, what's that? Urinal. Okay. This one too. Wow, I must have been really tired. I missed all this. We're just talking and not paying attention. Door hinges, lights, and light conduits. Door hinge. Did you know Eminem once rhymed orange with door hinge? Just saying. You'd probably rhyme anything. There's a light. That one's good. Aha! Get this guy. And just light conduits. I bet I can find it without going to the menu. There it is. I don't see dirt. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Hey, we did it, guys. Yay! Oh, this is where we get to watch our progress. Nice. Alright, guys, that's it. We did it. It's a job well done. It's sparkly clean. I love this game. Anyway, I'm Murdoch, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.